One is an idiot, it might be both of them. Shut up, dude.
Shut up, dude.
Oh, yes, it's a podcast, everybody. Hey, this is Shut Up, Dude. I'm Jizzy. Fortunate to be here with Elvis. Hey, what's up, man?
Not much, brother. How are you?
I'm good, brother. We have a special guest in studio today. Ryan.
What's up?
Kia ora, bro.
Just for listeners of the podcast, before we begin, I am not kickstand, and I did not tunnel under my parents' house and grow a bunch of weeds. So, just putting that on the table. Not that I would have much to put on the table. How kickstand was described last week, I'm slightly above.
The
average.
listeners would assume that Kickstand would come in here like, yeah, I'm Ryan.
Yeah.
Did a little bit of tunneling.
Yeah.
It's the least manly name you can give a boy as well.
Ryan.
Bro, you can't walk up to someone. You walk up to someone and be like,
Ryan.
I'm Bill. Yep. How's it going,
Yeah.
mate? Yep. Yeah.
Good.
How's it going? Well, how many tradies come through the yard and are like, I'm Ryan?
And
It's always soft, bro.
It's funny you meeting that because I'm in Wellington, so there's actually a lot of like,
I can
hi,
imagine,
I'm Bill.
Yeah. Hi.
Yeah.
What's your middle name? Did you ever consider
some
going
wood
like?
for some slats?
Yeah, well, that happens heaps. Yeah.
Did you ever consider going like middle name, like initials, like I'm RJ or something?
Oh no, because it's RD.
Artie.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it would like it just opens up like a whole.
Artie.
Yeah, my middle name is my dad's name, so if I went by my dad's name, I'd probably want to kill myself. So.
Yeah. Great start.
Good.
We're at the gate.
My dad's name's Stephen with a PH. So I like to have it say Stephen.
Stephen.
That's even funnier. My old man's Gordon, but everyone calls him Flash.
Everyone calls him Flash. Bro,
Yeah,
I don't know if
bring
it's
up
okay to
Flash.
tell this story. At your wedding, he introduced himself as Flash, and like 8 bogans went,
Yeah, bro. No, that happened my whole life.
Yeah.
People love that fucking song, and yeah.
It's a great song.
There's people that to this day like only know him as Flash, but I've had a couple dudes thought his real name was Graham, and that I love that idea of like, oh, Flash Graham.
See, I used to get when I was I used to sell like oil and filter for diesel and turbo, and obviously Ryan again in the whited upper, not a very manly name. So when you pick up the phone and go, "Oh, diesel and turbo, Ryan speaking," they go, "Yeah, g'day, Graham. Looking for some tractor filters, mate. Just wondering what you got in stock." It's like, I'm not even going to correct you. Yes, my name is now Graham.
Yeah,
and
right.
that's just all there is to it.
You have to just go along with it. I've been dubbed this. This is me now. Yeah. Nah, just talking about names. I brought this up just before, but yeah, guy in the Herald wrote an article about pro-farmer sentiment, like not anti-farmer. We need to support the farmers, the rural farmers.
the farmers,
But
not
his
the
name-
pharmaceutical industry.
But his name was John McDonald, and it's like there's some weird twistedness to that of like McDonald pro-farmer. No shit, you got a song
Yeah.
about it.
There's
Like,
actually I'm sure there's a term for people whose job befits their name though. Like,
Yeah,
'cause
there
it's-
will be. There'll be a
there's
tricky
like
word for it.
There's an etymology thing, right? So
Yeah.
my last name is Coles, and that's derived from like people that
the
were coal
supermarket
miners.
you follow Zane.
No,
Oh.
the fucking supermarket. It derives from people that were coal miners or people that had a dark or swarthy appearance, like darker features and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's like an etymology build from where your last name was to either what job your ancestors did or how you looked.
Yeah.
Was how you were perceived, unless you were like a Johnson, because then you were just like son of old mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't really
But
work. That
even that though, of like just having a name and then going and doing something, and then there's a song about that name doing that job.
Yeah.
That just fucks me up. Like I was pretty high when I saw it, but at the same time, it was like, yeah, of course you like farms.
He would. The
Yeah.
guy I told you, there's a guy that the guy he succeeded was Andrew Hoggard. So that's another guy with the same like farmy name.
It's just something about it that really pissed me off. When I think about
Real
it,
high.
that's me. Yeah, I find something to get mad at.
I saw some other news this week. Did you see that? There was an evil ram on the loose.
Bro,
oh my fucking
Everyone
God.
saw it, right?
Yeah,
It was the
saw
biggest
that.
story in the country this
my
week, bro.
God.
The evil ram on the loose that just a fucking serial killer, bro. Charged the cops like it found their Brooklyn tunnels. It fucking went, bro. They put it down on site. So it killed
Amanda-
Gay Hansen and her husband, Alfred or Hengi.
Names
Something
that
like
mean
that.
Your job, my guy.
There's no need for that.
Gay Hansen.
I was checking my notes, man. It's Gay Hansen. And her husband, Arlfred, it says here. That's probably not right.
It wasn't so much the fact that her name was gay; it was the emphasis you put into it. Her name was Gay Hansen,
Yeah.
and her husband. I didn't even hear the husband's name because I
They
was
don't,
too busy thinking
they don't
about
care, man. Hengi, I think, which is his
that's
middle
right,
name.
Dutch.
Yeah,
by
it might be.
Ram,
But no, his first name was Alfred. His middle name was Helgi. And that's what he went by, apparently.
so-
But they were 82 and 84, respectively, and they just got beat the fuck out by a big, angry goat.
And what, did he get out of the field or something?
I think it was on the loose, bro. The juice was loose. Yeah.
Just O.J. Simpson reincarnated
Oh,
as a
shit.
ram.
Someone knows the name of that goat.
That's so
If it's the
fucked up.
juice, you can't publish it. It's not a respectable publication.
I think
Yeah.
the problem is, like, for me, with these two old people that have absolutely they've been murked by a ram. Let's not beat around the bush here. The fact that old people, for whatever reason, get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to have their dry toast and cup of tea, bro. Do you think they would have had something a little bit more interesting if they thought they were going out to market to get murked by a ram today? Just maybe a little bit of butter
Yeah.
with their dry toast,
Yeah,
just to
dude.
spice it up a little bit.
Put
before
an
they
egg
cark
on it. Maybe just drop an egg.
Live
Try it.
every day as if it's your last, bro.
Yeah.
Get that deliver easy.
One day you might walk outside to go have your lunch at 10:30 in the morning and get killed by a ram.
Yeah.
Because a young fella showed up, went to the field, saw what had happened,
Yeah.
and then it went
By now,
him.
the ram had a taste for blood, bro.
But yeah, it got him from behind. Like
Yeah.
it smashed into him from behind, and he like had to wrestle it into a headlock. You leave our stealthy carry. Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. For anyone that's watching the video,
you can't
Grim-
see it. I don't
No,
know what
you
you're
can. I
talking
can
about.
see it.
Nah. It's a green screen, Ryan.
so good. Sorry.
There's,
Valuable listeners,
The
we
best
love you.
part is we don't even ask him to do that.
Oh, Grim. You're a national treasure.
This is a good time to talk about this. You could see this kind of action at patreon.com.
Well,
Shut up,
we are
dude.
launching.
NZ. By the time this episode comes out, that will be a thing, and you could get bonus episodes.
Yeah.
You could get video feed of this if you, for some reason, want to see us. But there's bonus episodes. We did one just recently. We found
The,
Mecca.
Something.
How would you describe
Holy
it?
Grail.
The Holy Grail.
The Holy Grail of tunnel enthusiast bullshit artists like ourselves.
As a third party who's heard the bonus episode, completely for free, by the way.
Yeah. It's a-
Pretty privileged.
It's
Fucking was
comped.
good, man.
Yeah.
Like, I copped it. Yeah, it's one of those things. Being famous gets you. You get on podcasts and they send you bonus episodes of said podcast. It's so worth it. It's
Yes.
so worth it. And not like, obviously, if you love the back and forth of these two gentlemen like I do, it's a massive bonus. But then the bonus episode itself has so much value in it that you'd be silly not to sign up to the Patreon, to be completely honest.
You're a
Not even
great
blowing
guest.
Smoke. That was really interesting.
Oh,
The
it's
story
hard
is
it's hard
fascinating.
It's hard to even begin talking about what the bonus episodes entail
Yeah.
without launching full scale into it.
Yeah, you can't give
It
too
is.
much away.
We could try to describe it in vague. It's a tunneling story that meets a government conspiracy story,
Which
meets a treasure hunt, and there's all this weird conflicting information. And it's I've just received the book of the authority on the subject, which I'm reading at home. You're in contact with another author.
Yep.
We're reading Official Information Act requests. This shit is wild. I particularly want to
scored
talk about it, but we are keeping it. We're
I
keeping it bonus
scored
episodes for now.
I scored a Department of Conservation investigation outlining this exact subject
Yeah.
just by digging into what we could find already. And yeah, it's amazing. Like, it's really exciting. So yeah, if you want to find out more about this stuff, gonna have to do some other stuff.
Look, Nick Cage is a terrible actor, right? But when you add a treasure hunt, 2 tunnels, it's a movie worth watching.
I'm in.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah, me
national
too.
treasure, as far as I'm
I'm
concerned.
actually on the other side of the Nick Cage party. Yeah, I like him because he sucks.
He overacts like crazy.
That's why I like
it's
him,
just
'cause they keep
National
giving him-
Treasure it deviated so far from his usual shtick. I
Have you
guess.
watched Con Air?
Of course, I've watched Con Air.
Yeah.
Who hasn't watched Con Air?
The end of that movie, when he's standing under the Hard Rock Cafe, which is falling apart, to his missus to like a Faith Hill song. And
Yeah.
gives his kid that bunny.
Yeah.
Fuck, bro. It's like, you're Nick Cage, bro. Yeah. Or Face Off. Have you
Yeah,
wa-
watched that at a very early age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's I'm damaged. I'm a damaged man because of that movie.
That movie's killer, even despite all its flaws. Killer movie.
Oh, absolutely. But when you're 4 or 5 and your dad's like,
4
oh,
or
kids,
5?
kids won't remember this.
Whoa.
And I'm like, oh, I fully remember it. I remember it so vividly. Bro.
He was just trying to make you a TikTok star.
As he must have been,
I'd
trying to
say.
do something.
He fucking
It's like,
nailed it.
There's, Gen X is coming out soon. Gen Z is coming out soon, and my son could use crying in a corner. Actually, maybe I'll show him Face Off at an early age.
Maybe if I get him enough Nick Cage at 4.5,
Yeah,
that's enough like trauma damage to make him funny.
yeah. Well, even at an early age, watching Con Air, so before the age of 10, watching Con Air, you can tell that his southern accent was absolutely trash.
Oh, bro.
Right, and,
That's
like,
why
there was no
he's
voc-
the man.
there
They
was no
keep
voice
giving
coach
him
on set.
jobs.
There was
Yeah.
no voice coach. On
They should
set.
call him the weatherman, bro, because he consistently gets shit wrong and still doesn't get fired.
Put
They call him the
bunny
Wicker Man because
back
he goes,
in the
"Not the
box."
bees!"
Fucking bees.
Brilliant.
That Official Information Act request that
Yes.
ended up having that full report published in 1998, 4 years after it finished, mind you.
Yeah.
4 years after they finished the
Yeah. Was
investigation.
it 4 or 6?
4 after they finished, it was
Yeah.
when that Official Information Act request that you
That's
sent
so
to me, that's where
bullshit.
that comes from.
Have you
Speaking
finished that
of-
report? Oh, we should be done soon. And then 4 years
Yeah,
later.
they released it like partially, but there's fuckery. Anyway, speaking of Official Information Act requests and
Yeah,
perhaps getting closer to the news, do you remember me telling you that the GCSB had put in foreign
Oh, yeah, bro.
foreign
Yeah.
countries' spying equipment
Yeah.
and didn't know really what it was doing, and nobody was overseeing it, and when they were confronted, they were like, wow, yeah, you're right, that is there. A previous guy signed a thing and he walked and never told the government.
What?
Never told
Yeah,
any
yeah,
of the
yeah,
people he was
right.
supposed
Yeah,
to tell.
yeah. What you
right.
got?
The IGIS, which is I think is the Inspector General of Intelligence and Security. So
Eggers is better.
that's what he's supposed to do is
Cyril
hold the,
Eggers.
he's supposed to hold the GCSB to account, right? He's found that they did not. The system was largely controlled by the partner agency, even though the Bureau could have vetoed operations it didn't like under the Memorandum of Understanding. It chose instead not to keep track of them. So the GCSB just chose not to watch what they were doing. The reason this has come out is they've declined an Official Information Act request. And here's what they've said. The guy in charge of the GCSB. The GCSB worked closely with the IGIS to release as much of the MOU as possible in the public report. I am confident that the report balances accountability with the need to protect New Zealand's national security interests. To continue to protect those interests, I am therefore refusing your request. Why did the GCSB work closely with the people investigating the GCSB to see if they were fucking around? Why did they get to put out a statement going, we worked closely with them and we decided together that this is how much we can tell you?
CIA.
This is, yes, I think the CIA is there, and
Lex
I think the
Friedman.
CIA dwarfs the New Zealand Secret Service
course.
by such a large degree that the CIA might control our entire Secret Service, which in turn is able to control our government by going like, dude, the CIA will come and fuck you up. You have to do what we say. Now, I don't know if it's just the North Head stuff that's making me think in this conspiratorial manner.
It might
But
be.
It's real. Real.
Gave,
Double down. Go harder.
the reason that
Grab
they
a Geiger
gave,
counter and start waving it around Jesse instead.
the grounds for refusal was that releasing the Memorandum of Understanding would likely prejudice security or defense or international relations. So pick one of those, and that's the reason you can't fucking have it. We're not telling you what happened.
It's almost like you've always thought you can't trust the government. And then someone recently was like, why? And you were like, hey, actually, I have just said that. Let me check.
Yeah.
And now you're just like, bro, this might all be shit. So,
This part is out in the open. It's very baffling to me that a big part of the voting bloc of our current conservative government, three-headed Taniwha or whatever, a big part of that is people who are like, like freedom guys, man, who were so opposed to the jab and all that stuff that they.
You mean dumb people?
They're like down with big government. That can't trust the media, can't trust the deep state.
Yeah, listen to the CIA
those
thing.
people, if you're listening, you have a responsibility to reach out to the conservative government you elected and go deal with the deep state.
They won't.
No, they absolutely won't.
No, 'cause they're stupid.
Because the conservatives are punishing the people they don't like.
I think it's when you said recently you were like all of the conspiracy theories usually boil back down to some racist shit.
There's often it's
Well, where do you? That's what's happening with these voter people. They're saying it's the deep state.
Yeah.
They're saying it's conspiracies.
Yeah.
But it's just racism in disguise.
There seems to be a lot of it.
Yeah. So when it's like you can't trust the big deep state, watch this video, and it's just some nonsensical information. They're clearly looking at going, see, this validates how I think, ignoring the full reality to it because everybody knows this is bullshit. If you still sit back and think any government anywhere isn't all shit, you're an idiot. There might be some well-meaning individuals.
Yeah, I think you're going to have factions of people that are motivated for public good, and you'll have nefarious factions inside, like any organization.
And do you know who's better at arguing and talking and becoming leaders?
Yeah, know who wants it more, bro.
Yeah, ratchet cunts. Yeah. Nice ass guys sit at the back bar and come last because there's 10 assholes who are going to beat them.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's if you look at any of the shit going on and how they justify doing it, like. I don't know how Chris Luxon gets away with the way he talks. It's just waffle words, just synergy business life members, everything Parliament me.
It's the stuff they teach you at business school.
What did you say?
Yeah. It's the stuff they teach you at business school when he just treats being in public like that.
Yeah, but it's like, well, me and my team, we've got our focus on our goals and those are our values. And you're like, what? You didn't really say anything. What are your goals? The goals, they mirror our values, which are actually in turn the values of New Zealanders.
Yeah. They elected us, and therefore whatever we say is correct.
But you're not, and they still don't say it. And then you just go and see Winston Peters and you're like, hey, kids put you on Fortnite, and he gets mad, and then you go and do whatever you wanted to do. While we are looking at Winston, who's
Winnie
like...
P is a superhero, bro.
Oh, dude, I love
that
them.
mic, Ryan. You got to eat that mic, brother.
Oh, I got to be up there?
Yeah, that's the one, bro. Yes,
it's got to be inside my nostril?
Absolutely, yes.
Nice, okay.
You should be inside
Good
out
thing I brought my
ears.
own windsock, just so I can smell my own breath in case it's someone else's.
But now we can hear your beautiful voice.
The original deep state, right? This is the late 50s, early 60s, around the time of JFK, and it was
the OSS.
The what's that?
The OSS.
Yeah, the OSS. But it was, and it was more of a socialite faction that were actually talking to these people and letting them know, what they thought about certain parliamentary functions, etc. The issue that I found with watching something like that and then having a quote-unquote New Zealand deep state brought into question is like, who are the rich people here that anyone gives a fuck about, and why would we care what they think? The rich people that think about it, like business-wise, there's going to be those rich people that we don't.
We
need to
import
give a fuck
them,
about.
man.
Are they all imported though?
Well, I mean,
This guy's like
Peter
Graham
Thiel
Hart.
is so far above anybody else in this country in terms of wealth, right?
But if you think
and we
of-
imported him, when we've got like
Graham
people use it as
Hart.
like a shelter.
Graham Hart, I think, is New Zealand's like organic billionaire.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So, of my
He was-
understanding, I'm sitting here being like nationalism being the thing that it is like that the people that they reach out to, the people that want to see how their money is going to be safe in the future, would be people that are based solely here and would be from here. But then I forget that the globalization of the world is becoming more and more prevalent, and they are outsourcing.
That's why they're the
engineers.
globalists.
Yeah.
If you're a Silicon Valley billionaire, where you get a bunker is here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
You
do-
pay some Kiwis to dig some tunnels.
When you think of Shania Twain in like 1999 tried to buy the South Island. Like she thought like, hey, that's totally sweet to put a bid on that.
Yeah.
And they're like, that's a half a country. And she's just like, oh, my bad. So like, if you can think someone like Shania Twain had a mean album and could buy a country.
Yeah.
There's cunts out there with way more money than fucking Shania Twain.
Yeah.
Weird way to make that point, I know, but like
that's pretty weird.
that's
Did you
just
really try to buy the South Island?
yeah, like
That's
thought
amazing.
it was like there's so much
Or did
room.
she just like float it in an interview when she's on Oxycontin or whatever?
I don't know, bro. I don't think there's any proof that Shania Twain was on Oxycontin.
Takes Oxycontin and goes, man, I feel like a woman.
Man, I feel like heaps of things. So it just wouldn't surprise me that some Silicon Valley super twat just was like, oh, I'm going to buy a bunker in Queenstown. Probably.
Why
That
wouldn't you?
tracks.
There's
if you had it.
there's worse places in the world you can own a bunker.
If I had the money, I would buy a bunker in Queenstown.
Yeah.
Sounds sick. Yeah. Especially if you got like $1 billion, why the hell not?
Yep.
What else you got?
The end of this article,
Oh, is this more the CIA runs New Zealand shit?
more of the Inspector General kind of got turned away by our spies, and he came
Yes.
back to us like
Yes.
they've said. Here you go. What he's come back with is, look, the memorandum of understanding was poorly implemented, and there's a subsequent policy requiring the Bureau to get ministerial approval. And the Inspector General said this should be triggered if the Bureau is looking at hosting a deal like this again. So, no worries, everybody.
I truly think of New Zealand as like we're like the beta before they run it in America.
I've heard this before, bro. Yeah,
I
a lot of
think they
people
try
think
it.
this.
Hey, give
They
all your
experiments
guns
on
away,
us.
New Zealand. You fellas don't need those. What are you going
Yeah.
to do with your guns? And then they just like, look at America, and they're just like, we watched what you did to the New Zealanders.
People used to think the same thing about Australia, though.
Yeah, bro.
Like the Port Arthur massacre.
Yeah,
So-
higher score.
And then, and then they got rid of all of that, all of the guns after that, and that was under. What was his name? He looked like a koala.
It was early 90s, though. Yeah.
Yeah. But this was I can't remember which prime minister
Which
it
one
was.
looked like a koala?
There was a prime minister that looked like a koala, but only because he had like the skullet going on, where the top was bald and the
Julia
sides puffed
Gillard?
out. No, I wish it was Julia Gillard. No, she looked like a frill-neck lizard. Who is the koala prime minister? I can't.
Tony
Not Howard.
Hawk.
Not
Tony,
John Howard.
No, you're thinking of Bob Hawke.
Tony-
And there was Bob Hawke in the early 90s.
Yeah.
My stepmother's second cousin actually got a cricket ball bowled into his face.
Flex.
Flex. Yeah, that's the one thing I flex on. I turn up to parties. It's like, oh, what's your deal, bro? Or my stepmom.
Wow.
See, some people might
tell
have
you.
you believe social media.
Yeah.
But
Fucking.
I
I can't remember his name. Oh no, it's not Kevin Rudd. That was after him.
Yeah.
Fuck. Anyway, Australian Prime Minister looks like a koala, and he fully backed it. It was just like, nah. As soon as the guns went, we all gun crimes were just like, yeah, we didn't really get any of those.
Yeah, all they
Yeah.
get now is like religious stabbings and stuff.
Yeah. Well, there's always that, but that was in the same
There's
day as
always
that
the-
stabbing in
Yeah.
Sydney at that
The mall.
at the mall.
Bondi.
Yeah, and that dude wearing a Kangaroos rugby league jumper was just like, whoop, stab.
You'll never
Run over the next
solve.
person. Whoop.
Yeah.
You'll never stab
You'll never
mindless
solve religious
violence.
stabbings ever.
Hey, that was
and the
religious
best
one.
solution you have is the American model, where
No.
you solve religious stabbings, but you create school shootings.
Yeah. Bro,
The mall one wasn't a religious
Yeah,
one,
that's
though.
what I was going to say. The Bondi one wasn't religious.
That guy was just really fucking unstable.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
Like
had
in a-
been
in a
reaching out
bad
to
way.
police asking for help.
Right.
Yeah, and they said no to him a
Didn't
bunch
really
of
give
times.
him any.
I was thinking about that priest that got
Yeah, the priest that got
that's-
stabbed, but that was on the same day, bro. Like,
Oh,
that's,
yeah.
yeah.
Nice.
False flags. No.
See, wouldn't happen in America, that's all
Yeah.
I'm saying.
See, but this is
but
the thing.
does. But does all the time.
The
Like,
religious one, though, the religious one is
Just
the
not
first.
used there.
The religious one was the first instance I've seen of in any form of fucking physical media where they were filming a
Live stream.
sermon, and then they watched this kid just come on and be like,
Oh, yeah, because
and it's when do you ever, apart from like if you woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning as a kid in New Zealand, turn on the TV and Creflo Dollar's like, you gotta give praise to the Lord.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, right.
when are you actually seeing a live stream of?
Well, when he,
any
there's
of
probably a Christ Twitch or something.
Oh, there's got to be, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
It just tracks that they're jumping on board. Like,
Yeah.
remember that church in Masterton, and it had that sign that was like, "Jesus died, neck minute, Jesus rose."
Oh, yeah,
and
same church.
they suck the dick of modern pop culture. Yeah, yeah,
Right.
but that's the same thing of like just adapting to the new mediums and shit.
No, they
but
did-
yeah,
they
they
did
did
one-
live stream a bishop getting stabbed.
What was their latest one? Was something about tweeting, And it's so out of touch. It's crazy because it's like a cloud background with Twitter's logo on it, and it's like, one place you don't need to tweet is to God, and it's just like, hey, fucking throw yourself under a bus. I'm so done. It's
brilliant.
But the one they got in trouble for was when the All Blacks lost the World Cup, and they put up. Worried about the All Blacks with Jesus, everything is all white, and they left it up there, bro. It was up there for 6 weeks, dude.
We're having a break.
Said nothing.
I'm gonna laugh and say something inappropriate. We're having a break.
It's a podcast.
Oh, welcome back. Who feels good?
I feel good.
Way better.
Yeah, me too.
James Brown levels of good.
Yeah, Gonna smack up your wife when you get home.
Yeah, it might smoke a little crack as well. Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Man's world. Bam.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna go and shoot up. What did he shoot up? He owned the place, and he rolled up with a gun, and it was like he just started shooting people. Not people, but the walls around people.
The stuff he owned.
Yeah, I can't remember. Chadwick Boseman did the biopic was called Get On Up, and Chadwick Boseman did an incredible job. Big RIP. But yeah, James Brown's just...
I don't think I've seen that. I might have to check it out.
Really good, dude.
I like these.
Anyway, sorry.
That's okay. There was Anzac celebrations this year, as there are every year, except if we have COVID or something.
Yeah.
So but the guys who flew there went via Dubai, because every flight goes via Dubai for some reason.
Oh, to get to Gallipoli.
And Dubai flooded, so they lost all their luggage. So the band showed up in Gallipoli with they don't have any of their stuff. They don't have their horns. They don't have their drums. The guy's trying to learn to, not joking, this was in the article I read, trying to learn to play the spoons,
Fuck off.
from
You've got to be
hotel
kidding.
spoons. They got some of them back, but yeah, it all flooded in Dubai. Have you ever flown with an expensive bit of kit?
Absolutely not.
I wouldn't do it.
I have, bro. I went to Melbourne to play shows, and I had to check in 10 grand worth of music gear, a really nice bass and all my effects and stuff. And they make you sign a thing, and the terms of it are unless you can prove we broke it on purpose, you cannot hold us liable. It says you hold us. We're not liable to you by anything that happens, including negligence. You only if you can prove we broke it on purpose, then we'll compensate you.
We're not liable for
fucking
negligence.
insane to me.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah,
That's just trying to make you buy a ticket for your bass or your instrument.
Yeah, I would much rather have it on the plane with me where I can see it.
But
where
it
was too much stuff.
That'd be why.
They wouldn't let me take it in there.
Yeah.
That'd be why, though, that they would have such bullshit terms. Because they'd break shit all the time.
Yeah. And imagine you trying to travel with a double bass.
Yeah.
That'd be 2 seats.
I remember in the early days
For the twins.
Yeah.
Early days of Facebook, when you'd make a Facebook and you'd be like, oh, I'll follow the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Boosh.
Bro, I saw them being like, here's a picture of the bass that they gave us back. Oh, I don't remember if it was a bass or a guitar. Here's a picture of the guitar they gave us back at Delta or whatever it was. And it's just a clearly snapped in half case. The case and everything, it's clearly been run over. And they're like, we're not liable for that. Check what you signed.
That's ridiculous.
Here's your guitar. Oh, I really hope that's not my guitar. Whoops. Sorry.
Yeah,
that's really all we can do for you.
Fucked up.
Yeah.
Real sorry.
But even if only you had your own plane.
Yeah.
Just
that's always the answer. Is get your own plane.
Or just give you your case back with no guitar.
You see all of these celebrities coming out in favor of backing green and all that kind of stuff, and then you watch the private jets leaving the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, dude.
And you can watch the flight patterns just near. It's yeah, cool, awesome. So none of you flew even first class, business. None of you flew.
It's 78
economy,
private jets left the moment the Super Bowl finished.
Yep. Yeah. Same airport, just
let's all get in our jet.
Yeah. Absolutely mental.
The terms of service, do you know about the PayPal one?
No.
PayPal introduced a thing, might have been late last year, where they would fine you for hate speech. So if you said something objectionable in public or on the internet or whatever, PayPal could fine you
Like Demolition Man?
$2,500 US per instance that you did it. So rather than tell the cops, their policy is if you say some bullshit, they take $2,500 out of your account and give it to themselves.
What the fuck?
Do you guys ever read the stuff you sign up for? It's fucking mental.
But why would you?
I do.
Why?
Because I want to know what's happening. I
fuck
want to
it.
know what I'm in for all
Nah.
the time.
Fuck it. Full send. Just sign me up for the
I
free
have the
account.
opportunity. The reason they make you sign something is this.
Is so they can... it's like the Human Centipede episode of
Yeah,
South
it's
Park.
exactly that.
That's exactly what that is. Like,
Yeah, okay.
You don't know what... Have you seen it?
Maybe.
Okay, so
Kyle,
they
yeah.
make these the boys from South Park are signing up to an iTunes account, right? And it's all to do with Apple, but in the fine print of the iTunes contract, it's like you will be subject to a human centipede
Oh, right, and
style
he keeps
experiment.
not reading it and just signing
Yeah, and he just
whatever.
signs it up, so all of them end up getting stitched
You want
ass
the
to mouth.
cuttlefish or the vanilla paste?
Yeah, obviously not to that extreme. Like,
It's exactly that
It's
episode.
$2,500. It's not having your mouth sewed to somebody's asshole.
yeah, but it's akin.
Yeah, if you don't... what's in my PayPal account? Like $2? Yeah, I don't have $2,500 for
No,
what
bro, I
someone...
don't even
they'll
have
be able-
$25.
That's
They'll
someone
be able
else
to put you in
Yeah,
negative
yeah.
balance. They'll be able to put you in negative balance, I'm sure.
And then I have to go
yeah.
to the fucking PayPal farm and work off my debt. But I'll owe $4,000 because I have to wear the PayPal uniform and the PayPal boots.
That's it. You got to
You'd
go
be
to
a
the company
be a pay
store,
prisoner.
Yeah, pay prisoner.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Terms
but
of service are fucking crazy. Just read. If you guys never read them, just next thing that you are supposed to read before you accept the terms, just read it and see what's in there. Even like skip past the boring parts, like the parts that obviously don't apply to you, and look at the ones that are interesting to you personally. It'll blow your fucking mind what you people have been agreeing to.
I bet. That's why it was funny when, like, do you remember the boomers had that message they would copy paste? It was like, I hereby, as of this moment, don't give Facebook permission to use my photos.
Yeah, I manage the page for my parents' bowling alley, and occasionally they get tagged in those. Dear user, we have found some things on your profile that we are not happy with. If these are not adhered to in the next 30 days, your account will be deleted. And then I get a call from my mum being like, "What's going on? Are they going to delete the page?" So, no, Mum, they're not going to delete the... Look, the user handle that it came from is like anonymous36569. Like, that's not Facebook. It's just someone trolling to try and see if they can fish you out of some stuff.
I know someone who got he got hit up by his father-in-law being like, these people reckon they have a video of me doing some dodgy stuff. It's $5,000. What am I going to do? He's like, firstly, that's not real.
Yeah.
It's a scam. You don't even have a webcam on your computer. Like, you're fine. And secondly, I don't ever want to talk to you about anything related to this again because I know what you've been up to, father-in-law. Like, yes, I think that shit's hilarious.
Someone very close to me that I won't name got sextorted, and this is within the last 12 months. I won't mention who it is because it's pretty embarrassing. But basically, I get a call at 5 o'clock in the morning being like, hey, I was doing some dodgy shit over cameras online, and now this person has blocked me and contacted me from a new account demanding money. Or they're going to send this video to everyone that I
Black Mirror style.
follow on.
Can we just say he?
Oh yeah, it's he.
Okay.
Yeah, a female is never going to be entrapped in this sort of carry on. Yeah. So so he was very much sextorted to the point where he was crying on the phone to me that he was freaking out that this person was going to release the videos. When he said to this person that he wasn't going to pay, they released the videos to a couple of people. And bros being bros, like if you can't be sus with the homies, then they're not homies as far as I'm concerned. So there's someone's reached out and been like, oh, okay, so this person likes all your videos and stuff. I'm going to send the video to them. And I almost said his name then. He reached out to his mate. It was just like, hey, bro, if you get sent a video from this account, ignore it because I'm going to level with you, bro. It's a video of me jerking off. And the bro messaged back, yeah, bro, already got the video, nice cock. And that was like, it was just like, I've blocked them already, don't worry about it. Because when a video gets sent to you on Instagram from an account that you don't know, it's blurred. So the first thing, your morbid curiosity, regardless of what it is, you're going to go, click. At the very, whoa, hey.
Nice cock.
Yeah, wow. Impressive.
No wonder he's like that.
Yeah. I can see where the confidence comes from.
Yeah. BDE over here.
But yeah, obviously, like, moving forward, he was fine after he refused, just sent a message out to all of his followers being like, hey, don't open this video.
I've got a friend who had that happen, and they reckon they sent, got the message blocked off there, got a message from a new account, and was like, oh, we've got this video of you rubbing one out. He sent them back another video of him rubbing one out.
Oh, that's,
like,
see...
What?
Checkmate, motherfucker. Eh?
Mate,
like it's,
you can't kick to the curb that which lives in the gutter, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I'll send you another one where I'm knuckles up because I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, an aggressive posture.
I know someone who got that email, and we have pictures of you masturbating and coming or whatever. I had told that person not to tape over their webcam.
And they hadn't.
No, they had.
Oh.
They were like, why? I'm like, because Mark Zuckerberg does it, motherfucker.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, and he did it, and he was like, dude, I got an email saying that they'd seen me doing stuff, and I know they haven't.
The peace of mind that you can wholeheartedly know that you weren't jerking off and or coming in front of a webcam is fantastic. The only issue I have with that is if you jerk off mobily, that you would have to have tape on the front of you,
like
bro. Like as in, not like fucking while you're on a mission.
No,
like,
you got to think, bro.
On your mobile phone. Yeah,
on
there's
your
a
mobile.
front camera. Yeah. Well, I mean,
if your video's here,
yeah.
well, you think they're gonna access the back camera?
Bro, if someone threatened me with a video of me like hunched over my camera, like, I'd probably have a problem with that too.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's you here. Like,
but they know what you're doing. You're not fucking shaking a protein shake, bro.
No, bro.
Well, you are, but you're not really.
The
problem is
God's protein shake, bro.
people are going to watch that one, though. It doesn't have your cock in it. They'll watch it. That'll have a much broader reach.
Yeah, fuck. If someone sees your cum face, you'll get more famous.
Yeah. The vinegar stroke.
Yeah.
How famous are you?
Are there any pictures of you and Ghislaine Maxwell?
How famous am I?
Yeah.
To New Zealand, not famous at all. And that's that. I love that so much. To America, I have 500,000 followers across all platforms. So yeah, so there's roughly there's 330 odd thousand on TikTok, 70,000 on Instagram, 23,000 on Facebook, and $2,000 on YouTube. YouTube's really hard to grow. So.
What kind of content do you do? I only know you as the 6 Degrees of Separation guy.
So that was what I was doing for such a long time. That's how I got my start, quote unquote. I saw a guy doing it, and I actually reached out to him. His name's Wesley Baker, and I was like, hey man, I've actually got a bunch of photos of me with these people from like festivals and other bits and pieces. Do you mind if I give this content a stab and just see if something lands? And he's like, bro, you can't put a license on ideas. 100%. It's over to you. And so I made a first couple of videos, and like 3 or 4 videos into it, my follower count just went crazy.
Yeah.
Like just went absolutely nuts. And within a month, I went from 700 followers of organic growth of just me posting whatever to over 100,000.
Damn.
It just happened out of nowhere. And then obviously, you can't grow other platforms unless you're posting to other platforms.
Yep.
So it took me a full 18 months to start growing on Instagram. And once that happened, it blew up real quick too. I went from roughly, same again, like 500 or 600 followers to 75,000 or something.
Fuck, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's getting... Yeah.
It was like I've had
Sort
a
of-
really good couple of like proper viral videos that took people by surprise.
Proves it's not a fluke, right? You
No, it's-
switched platforms and kind of had a really similar result.
That's right, yeah. So,
within
and
a short time.
the biggest thing for me, looking back on it now, is that people go, oh, like one viral video is enough to make you pop off, and then people just know you as that guy. That's just not the case. There were certain videos that went viral that I never would expected to go viral by any means. And this is before I knew about centering and lighting of the room and audio and all that kind of stuff. It is literally just me. The videos that went the most viral are me with COVID, sitting outside, block nose, beanie on, hoodie and stuff, being like, I'm going to connect to Rasputin. And then I'd go and do a shitload of research and I connect to Rasputin and people went nuts for it. Yeah. It's still my most famous video on TikTok.
That's wicked. How many views did it get?
15 million views on that
that's
video.
crazy,
Yeah, and I filmed it outside while I was having a vape.
Yeah. Hard case.
Yeah. Took me all of, the Rasputin video, obviously, if you know the bare, base level of history, you'll know that the Russian royal family, the Tsars, were related to the English royal family. King George V, his cousin was Tsar Nicholas. So those families are related. Obviously, you can't holiday with anyone else if you're royalty, right? So there's lots of photos of them holidaying together.
Sure.
And it's basically just like a puzzle, man. You have your end destination, so you either start it with that person and work backwards, or if you have a relative knowledge of history, you go, oh right, yeah, so me and this person, and then this person and this person, and then that leaves me 2 or 3 steps to get to where I need to go.
You could get to the Queen. Maybe if you have any British family, you might get.
I can get to the Queen in 2 steps.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And then the Queen would get you to Rasputin.
Yeah,
maybe.
and it was me and Peter Jackson, and then it was Peter Jackson and it was either King Charles or somebody, and then King Charles and his mum, and then it went on from there. But yeah, there's a big family photo of all of the Russian royal family and the English royal family holidaying together, and then all of the Tsar's kids sitting with Rasputin in some sort of nursery type room.
Yeah.
Shoots
and that was
scores.
that was how I got there, and it just popped off. That was one of the videos that went big. But it was
probably hit right at the same time that Boney M remix of Rasputin went hard on viral.
Yeah, and see, this is the thing: is if you are trend following, that's one thing on TikTok. If you are doing all of the, and this is going to sound super cringe to anyone over the age of 25, but if you're doing the dances at the correct time that the dancers are in full swing, you're going to get millions of followers. Personally, I don't understand why. I'm big on TikTok, and I've never understood why the dancing side of things has ever been prevalent.
Yeah.
But if you hit at the right time with the when things are at a at a peak, that just gets thrown out there as well, and people just it's right in front of you for you to like and whatever else. So my take on the trend hopping thing was when these certain sounds came through, like the Boney M remix, was like, oh, so people are going to comment and be like, oh, what about Rasputin? Because that was the video just before this one. Yeah. And then when I do it, they go, oh, damn, he actually did it. And then it's like, yeah, cool, all right. And because I'm answering to comments, people leave more comments, and it's self-perpetuating content. You don't need ideas for videos if they're already there. And because people are commenting, you have that engagement, which pushes your videos further into the
because you got an all-black one too, eh?
Yeah, Aaron Smith reached out.
Yeah, I saw that, bro.
Yeah,
that's a cool one.
Yeah,
that's
so
awesome.
that was...
And I think, my favourite reach out, wasn't it Danny D, that porn star?
Yeah, Danny D, the porn star. Yeah, he reached out. I've had...
Would I know him? What does his cock look like?
It's pretty big.
Enormous.
Yeah.
And he's got Chelsea tattooed on his arm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know that guy.
Yeah, bro. Everyone knows that guy.
He reached out. We swapped DMs.
Yeah.
He's a lovely guy. He really is.
Back and forth.
No pictures,
consummate nog star, bro. You show him the...
Absolutely.
He's a top tier nogger.
Yeah. But you get people that follow you that you'd nogger. Whoa, don't remix that. And basically
just bleep it a little bit.
Yeah, just bleep the middle part. Oh god.
Uncancelable. Huh?
Uncancelable, he reckons. Watch me use
the camera off.
Yeah. Watch me use AI to completely fuck your life up. But yeah, so why did I repeat what you said? That's rough. Anyway, but you have people reach out that you would never expect to even look sideways at your content. Teddy Swims, the singer. me and him have followed each other on TikTok for a long time. He just likes the content. He's never reached
Awesome.
out for a video or whatever.
That's cool.
And I just, we DM each other, and he's happy as
Is
to
that
chat.
your most famous follower? Arguably Danny D, but
Danny D's definitely in there.
Everybody's seen Danny D.
Everybody's seen Danny's D for sure.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of YouTubers, a lot of musicians, some All Blacks.
no, like Mr. Beast or anything.
Nah, no one like huge in realms
That
of
fucking
notoriety. What's that?
Do you want to make enemies with Mr. Beast?
I think Jizzy hates.
I wanna make
Mr.
enemies
Beast.
with
I
Mr.
might
Beast.
hate Mr. Beast.
Why?
I think he's I think he's dead inside. I think he's a total weirdo.
He's definitely dead inside, but he's very.
we all?
He definitely he's admitted to that already. He hates what he does. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's become a hollow shell of himself.
So those thumbnails that he does with him making that face.
He doesn't
that's
even
on
make
purpose?
those. Yeah, all of that stuff's on purpose. It's all clickbait retention.
I didn't know
That's
he
all
was
it is.
I didn't know he was self-aware.
He's
Bro,
incredibly self-aware.
He hates it so
yeah,
much.
he's
So
freakishly self-aware.
when
That's
he
why.
started-
He goes like, I built 30 fucking wells in Africa. Here you go. Is that the
not
show?
so much the philanthropy side, because the philanthropy side, and I'm not obviously in
I thought
defense
that was
of
all he
Mr. Beast,
did. Is
but
like I went and gave 3 people
No,
$1 million.
no.
No. So he's got
He does
several
all
different
sorts of
channels,
shit, bro.
but the philanthropy one is like he goes and builds wells, or he gives people eye treatments or whatever it might be. But his main channel is like stuck on a deserted island for 7 days, and it's him and like Mark Rober, who worked for NASA and stuff, and they like create contraptions, and it's very kid friendly content.
Or like Squid Games sort of kicked off hard, and he would do things.
He built a
modeled
full scale set of Squid Games.
Yep.
Squid
And
Game.
then he did one which was like 100 rooms in a big airplane hangar, and it had someone from age 1 to 100 who could last the longest.
Yeah, basically.
Just really obscure
But-
fucking reality sort of tests, but they're kind of dumb. But
Does he hate that too?
Well, see, this is the thing: is when he started out, like, and you'll know this as a person who creates, right? When you started out learning how to do something, it was your everything. You sat in your room and you played and played and played. You obsessed. You listened and you listened and you listened. There's no difference between that and what Mr. Beast did when he was 13, 14. YouTube first came out and he obsessed about YouTube. That was what he did. So he was all about learning the algorithm and seeing how to get retention up, how to make people tick in that space.
he's the Joe Satriani.
Yeah,
of
and he
YouTube.
learned so much about it that he created this model that, like, all right, bright thumbnail, ridiculous video premise, actually follow through on it because I've made this much money in order to make these videos. But then he goes on these podcasts, someone in Samir, or there's a white guy and an Indian guy, and they talk
Schultz.
about... No, not Schultz, not Schultz. It was another one. They're very informative podcast, and they talk to like lots of YouTubers and other famous people about how they got to where they are. And he becomes very, not like depressed, but he's self-aware in the moment where he's like, I just hate what I do, and I hate what I do now. It's become so robotic, and it's lost any meaning to me. I'm in 5 different locations filming 5 different things over the course of a week.
I think he talked as well about like the better he did, people were like, oh, he's not doing this, so you do that, and then it's like, oh, look at him do that.
Yeah,
and
it's
like,
never enough.
Like his philanthropy, it was like,
Yeah.
oh, why doesn't he do this?
Why
with
did he
his
only
money?
cure 100,000 blind people?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like then I saw there was heaps of people saying shit like, how has he done more for like this one community than any initiative in that community, and it sparked all this change and shit. So he's a really interesting guy, because I didn't really know him from fuck all, and then my young fella knows him, and he wanted to watch him.
Yeah,
so
my
that's
kid's
why-
obsessed as well. And then it's one of those things where, like, the fact that my kids know what Prime is, my kids know what Logan Paul is and KSI.
My
and
kid
that.
doesn't know who Logan Paul is, but knows what Prime is.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
But, like, coming from where I came from, and this is obviously how I can't relate to you guys in the sense that we've known each other for a very long time.
Yeah.
A very long time. I am still, like, 10 years younger than you guys, and have been. Pretty consistently, actually. When
Fluctuations, dips in autumn.
But when I met you, you had already moved past the idea that YouTube was a burgeoning construct where you would go and you would watch these people create and you followed for their personality. I know you personally would have sat there and watched people make videos about shred comps and you would have watched like I Bet You Can't Play This series. That was a big thing for you as well.
Right into it.
For me, it was very much a case of I came from that first lot of the first generation of YouTube of people that wanted to be YouTubers.
Yeah.
That saw a sustainable living by
that
being
was the big difference.
YouTubers.
That there was like you say, and then that 10 years, we sort of looked at it as like, okay, what can I do to go on YouTube? Whereas you fellas, it was like you can just do YouTube.
Yeah,
like,
and then
don't create content. Just document everything you do, but occasionally put in cool shit, and that'll spike it. It's weird, but only because the generate. Like if you talk to my older brother, who's 9 years older than me, there is absolutely no fucking way you're making it with music. What are you gonna do? Like that was straight out the gate. Like it had been, that dream had been stomped out of him. you know, by the time we were like thinking about it, he was just like, "That's the dumbest fucking idea." Like he's violently against that idea. But I think it's just because that was his thing. And then so when like you're saying, when I was at this point, I'm looking at it going, "Why the fuck would you do that? And who the fuck wants to watch you do your life?" But people do, because some people are interesting. Their personalities are different.
It's an association thing. It's all relative. Like it's people want to watch, as human beings, we want to watch either each other succeed or just see what a day in the life looks like for other people. And it's that exposure to other points of humanity.
It's access to different humans.
Bro, I swear that globalization, especially in the internet sphere, the reason why things like football in this country have become the most prevalent sport in kids and young adults is because when I was a kid, prior to YouTube, I couldn't just log in and be like, Ronaldo compilation.
Yeah, bro.
I would watch live games at 2:00 in the morning because I lived in New Zealand or I lived in Australia.
Get a glimpse of beauty.
That's right. I had to watch
Sky 3.
Yeah, I had to watch football at that time because I was passionate about football.
Yeah, right.
Whereas these kids will be thumbing through shorts and reels now, and they'll be like, "This is incredible!" Like, wait, let me rewatch that, and I'll try that trick outside. And you see these kids that are becoming behemoths on the football pitch. But it's not just football, it's everything.
Everything's
it's music, it's art, it's even literature. People are learning how to write correctly, and they're learning how to act and behave in a sense where Gen Alpha is going to be the most understanding generation across the board. They're also going to be one of the most creative generations because their resources are untapped, and I'm getting very passionate about this, and I would
this is fucking amazing, bro. Nobody talks like this. I agree mostly with what you're saying, but you never hear anybody espouse the point of view that you're
but it's the same way of just that gap that happens, and evolution and tech shit starts to get faster, and then you sit back and look at the guys coming up and be like, "Yeah, what the fuck is this?" You're just instantly programmed to sort of, "Nah, I'm not looking at it."
I don't think I feel that way.
You're not, but that's
Ryan's doing well. I'm like, fuck yeah, bro.
Yeah, but it's the less understanding side of that generation. The one thing in this country that I found, I lived in Australia for about 4 or 5 years, and when I came back here, and you start to create or you start to prosper in any way, the tall poppy syndrome hits so hard, bro, where it's like we're a small country in the middle of nowhere. Unless you play rugby,
why does he get followers?
Yeah, but that's exactly what it was like. That's exactly what it was like.
Yep.
I got to 100,000. I turned up to futsal one week, which is indoor football on a Monday, and it was just me and the bros that I went to school with, guys that I played football with for years and years. I turn up to futsal, and these guys start shunning me like, "Oh, it's the Mr. Influencer," and I'm like, "Are you for real, bro? Like, is that jealousy? Is that what what that is? Oh, I don't even make content, so how can I be jealous?" It's like, because you've never treated me like this before, and you're not self-aware enough to know that you're being a real dick right now.
Yep.
And it's like, but they made fun of me right at the start too. They found my YouTube channel and then share the videos around and be like, "You're a fucking..."
Ryan thinks he's gonna be.
Yeah, Ryan thinks he's gonna be someone. And
I've ever since I started playing guitar and having to deal with that sort of weird shit was I just think of Simpsons, when Homer's the cannibal guy. Oh, here comes that cannibal guy. He's cool. Are you being sarcastic, dude? He's like, I don't even know anymore.
Yeah.
And like, that's because cunts are just depressed and don't
Yep.
do anything.
Oh.
Yeah, check this guy out trying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's-
Like, okay, don't hang out then.
You look
But-
at the tropes of 90s preteen and teen comedies that were coming out in the realm of things like 10 Things I Hate About You, etc. You look at the meta aspect of what they're trying to put forward to you, right? Where anything that smacked of effort was not worth doing.
Yeah, bro.
And it's like, because New Zealand's already 10 years behind in things like technology and economy and all those kinds of
Politics.
things, politics,
Culture.
we are still in that mindset of like, oh, bro.
Yeah.
What? What do you mean you're trying?
And that's
Ew,
because,
dude.
and that's because
What are
out
you
of
trying for?
out of the 5 people hanging out, 4 of them are freaking out that they're ugly or fat or insecure about something, and one of them whose insecurities have inversed and made them confident leads their pack. So, like, I think it was someone I was talking to doing a rep thing the other day and advertising this drink, and like 5 people walk in. 4 of them look over like, oh, what's going on over here? And one's like, no, and walked off. And they all sort of like, oh, and like, can't be excluded from the tribe if I, and it's weird how baked in. Like, I used to, like, at work, I've had it for years. I've said it for ages. When the older fella comes up and goes, oh, we never used to do it that way. We did it a bit different our way, you know. It's like, yeah, but you fellas used to hit your missus if the All Blacks lost.
Yeah.
And then, oh, hey. It's like, oh, you don't want to talk about that part. Oh, you want to shit on my generation, but I can't bring up anything you cunts did wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, go fuck yourselves.
That's the part that I'm struggling with moving forward, is that there is a part of me where one of my parents was very, very supportive the entire time. Anything I did. Shout out, mum. Love you heaps. Dad? Nah. I went to him as a kid and was like, I was like 10 years old, and I said, Dad, if I really buckled in and tried hard, do you reckon I could play for United, like Manchester United? And he's like, absolutely not. You are just not that guy. Like, just fully dropped the shorts, turned around, took a shit right on my feet, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Fuck you for even dreaming of that sort of shit. So the fact that my children now are in a stable household with a loving mother and father, both of whom are very creative individuals in different realms and support the hell out of their kids, we're now getting the reverse of that, where it's like, hey, good on you for trying and keep going in this area, because dude, you're smashing it. And they immediately go, oh fuck, no, I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, bro.
And it's flip the table and leave type
Now
carry.
that you've brought it up, it's not cool.
Yeah, so you can't be supportive to a fault. You need to be helicopter supportive, not in the sense of helicopter
Homer
parenting,
style.
but like you almost need to sit back and be like, oh yeah, cool, but not
You've
like,
got to do that shit, though. You've got to be supportive and help them out and all that
but
way.
be supportive in a cool way, like where
See, you've got to still not be mates. Because you still have to be lame enough to make them rebel enough, just enough, to be cool enough that they can mate and repeat the cycle.
But dude, if your dad is famous on TikTok,
that's gonna.
How does that work? Like,
that's gonna fuck with you.
My daughter goes to school, and there are a couple of kids there that call her BB Malloy, and it's the weirdest thing. It's like, oh, these kids were calling me BB Malloy. It's like, why? I don't know.
Because
do they make videos online? No. Do they know what I do? No. So do you care that they call you BB Malloy? She's like, not really.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. So this is her teacher telling us this, like, oh, Ryan, we know about your online profile and these sorts of things and the videos you put out. We're just wondering if it's got a... I'm dead serious.
Are you worried about having this conversation if somebody listens to our podcast?
Not at all. They can go fuck themselves.
But the fact that I'm on a quote-unquote kids platform...
all of our shit is age-restricted anyway.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Whereas mine is on an open platform. Like, you know, I'm on a quote-unquote kids platform for the majority.
I bet the people hitting you up, though, are like, you know, Ryan... We know about your videos you release on that kids' Chinese platform. Like, you know, I bet they're so uninformed on it.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, you still got to be cool and understanding and growth and all that. But I'm just meaning there's this weird line where, you know, how you said, oh, awesome, you're smashing it. And they're like, oh, I don't want to do it now. You've automatically got to sort of think on your feet and be like, good, because I didn't want to take you. And then they're now I want to go. And it's like you're stuck in this reverse psychology game with this little
you subvert expectation every single time.
Yeah, bro.
And that's the coolest bit. And I love so I had, like, my first daughter was born when I was 16. And then my second daughter was born when I was 18. My son was born when I was 20. I am now 29. I'm in my 30th year of existing. So my kids are going to be essentially all grown up, as it were, by the time I'm 38. I am at a point where my relatability to my kids is starting to show because our age gap is so close. My eldest child is 12 turning 13. There's body changes, there's dysmorphia, there's all sorts of things that the sudden influx of hormones is going to trigger in the
world
child.
too.
What's that?
Other girls.
Yeah, and that's sort of what we're dealing with. So when you've got a cool dad, right? When you've got a cool dad and your cool dad plays in a band and your cool dad, you know,
is a TikTok star
and he's got lots of followers on Instagram and stuff, the girls aren't the problem. The boys are the problem. The girls, and she's had a couple of run-ins.
You're like the wholesomest, nicest version of Bert Kreischer. Because the boys want to hang out with Bert Kreischer's daughters. Not because they're interested in the girls. It's, hey, there's a way here. Like, you're like an avenue.
Yeah. Whereas the girls know the TikTok dances will get them further along.
Whereas
and the boys are just, like, horrible to her because
they like her.
Yeah, that's right.
And they're pieces of shit, but the way they like her is, oh, fuck, how do I... And they're idiots. Like, I get it. It puts a magnifying glass on a kid that they didn't ask for, which makes it unfortunate, but...
Yeah. The worst part is there's no literature for this. There's no videos. There's no recent, sort of
studies,
examples or studies that, like, hey, I went viral on the internet and I've maintained my virality for a couple of years. This is how I dealt with parenting, or this is how I dealt with living in a smaller society where, you know, people don't know who I am. It's the best thing ever. Like, you see these chronically online teenagers that have seen me and that I've heard whisperings in the next aisle when I'm at Pack and Save or whatever. It's like, that's that guy that does the picture videos. And it's sort of like, yes, I can hear you. Like, come and say hello if you want to say hello. And then they come and say hello, they shake my hand or whatever, which is awesome. I never get recognized otherwise. The one time that I got recognized otherwise, I was on my stag do. I was in Calendar Girls. And the guy behind the bar recognized me while I was absolutely fucking shit-faced.
Okay.
So
oh no!
It's the worst trying to compose yourself when you're paying for a lap
TikTok
dance.
Guy, isn't it?
Oh, bro, but yeah, the wholesome TikTok guy who doesn't swear in his videos is currently slaughtered paying for a lap dance at the counter, and they're like, bro, you're that guy. Yo, shake my hand, bro. And it's just the worst possible time. You know, especially
I get you, Kiz.
Oh, bro, it's fucking trash.
Just a sec. I think
I'm starting to think that we should get to some,
I
a bit of the old...
the dark.
I'm saying we should, maybe metaphorically speaking, perhaps we should grab our picks and shovels.
Don't you threaten me with a good time. This is the only reason why I turned up. I didn't turn up for any other reason. I swear to you.
We'll be back and... it's like instant to them. Shut up.
If you've made it this far, then this message is for you. Ask yourself this. Really consider. If there is any hope on the surface, why hasn't anyone come back for us? I know you're scared, but please, just trust me. We are alive because of the tunnels.
Tunnel talk. I forgot it, didn't I?
Tunnel talk, everybody.
Oh, wow. Oh, I'm so honored. I'm so honored to be here for Tunnel Talk.
Hell yeah, dude.
Fucking whoa. It's just so jarring.
Yeah.
It's great. Like, it works for the piece, but it's like science fiction priests doing something.
I want a Monty Python stinger at one stage.
What's that, sorry?
I want a Monty Python Tunnel Talk stinger at one stage. Oh, Dennis, there's some lovely tunnels down here. Incredible.
I have a bit that we might investigate after Tunnel Talk, and we'll see if that ends up being anything.
Yep.
But for now, it's Tunnel Talk. Now, unfortunately, we're not going to get to the juicy... well, maybe we'll get to that at the end. I was reading about the Oosterweel Link, the immersed tube tunnel.
And where's
the Oosterweel Link. It's in Antwerp in Belgium. So this is a major shipping hub for all of Europe. Part of their their kind of across Europe system relies on this point. And their ring road in Antwerp is not a ring. It doesn't go over the river. And the solution is an immersed tube tunnel. But the way that they are building it is fucking out of control. The way they're going to build it is by making concrete forms of 8 sections of tunnel that are like 180 meters long each. So they start by digging a big pit on the edge of a river, like a canal, like part of towards the back of a shipping lane. If you imagine like a sports field dug with like berms where people could watch, like that, but next to a river. So they do that, they dig it out, it's fucking massive, and they make 8 of these things, each of which is like 60,000 tons or whatever. These big sections of tunnels that are like 3 lanes one way, 3 lanes the other way, service tunnel in the middle, bike lane tunnel on the outside, and like utilities and stuff on another side. So they build all these out of concrete forms, and the plan is once they're built, they plug them, and then they flood the pit that they've dug next to the river, and it floats these sections of tunnel, these fucking like building sized
What the fuck?
parts of tunnel, and then they tow them like hundreds of kilometers to Antwerp because it wasn't it's not the right the space to build them there. So they're also going to use that bit that they flooded as like an extra bit of port. Like they're going to use it, like they're going to make use of that space. They flood these. They bring them in an exact window of weather that occurs in 2025. They float them over. They tow them with like tugboats and shit. They bring them to a pre-dredged part of the river and work within predetermined times so as not to interrupt shipping for all of Europe. And they dig these things. They drop them, like they fill them with ballast, and drop them to the bottom, right? They're pre-manufactured with the curve that they desired, and they're like know what order they go in. So when they drop them down, the plug that goes into them, right? If you imagine a drinking straw and you put a little bit of blue tack in the end, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well now push it in so there's a bit of straw past the blue tack.
Fuck.
So it's like that when they first plug it. When they lay them down next to each other, they vacuum the water out from between them, and the suction from removing the water between them sucks the tunnel pieces together to lock them in under the river.
That's so cool.
Isn't that fucking sick?
That's amazing.
That's incredible.
They're doing so much crazy stuff for this one build.
Bro, every time we have these, I always come back to just
look at this.
Hey, I've got this problem. And one guy's like, I can solve that.
So that's a 10-lane tunnel that you can see. And they make 8 of them there. Yeah, like buried in this pitch, and then they'll dig it all out afterwards. It's a super interesting project. Everything about it is so specific, and like we're not going to interrupt anything. All the byproducts of it will be beneficial. It'll be like a fucking gangster version of itself. The substrate that they're using at the bottom, they're using gravel and plywood. They're putting plywood under these tunnels, which has like a shelf life, and in like 100 years they'll have to put something else there. But for now, the plan is plywood.
That's amazing.
Yeah. There's other interesting parts of this same build.
Weather, you said when they move them, they're moving them in like an exact perfect spot of weather that occurs in 2025.
Yeah, because they got to go through the North Sea, which is
notoriously dangerous.
Dangerous waters.
And there's this one time in 2025 where it's going to be okay.
In 2025 that they'll aim to.
This is some impressive shit.
Yeah. It's a crazy project. There's another part of this project where they're building tunnels stacked on top of one another. because of needing to maintain very specific amounts of space. Rather than building them side by side, they're stacking 2 by 2 on top of each other. There's all kinds of crazy problem solving happening here. I believe the construction for this is started. The total tunnel length is 1,800 meters.
Does it just traverse one body of water?
Yeah, I think so. Just this part of it does. Yeah. But they also they had to construct a temporary bypass. It's all because it's Europe and especially that part of Europe. They're very, they're very conscientious. They're very careful with the environment and all that kind of stuff. The Stelt Tunnel might be what that part of it's called. Well, the Tjidjeljelki Hansen Vergering Kombinante in Oosterwielden Tunnel.
I think I'm having a stroke.
We're not going past that. How long did that take you?
I just read it now. It's in there.
Wow.
Fuck off, you just read that now.
Your Belgian is incredible.
You guys can't read it. You don't know how close I got.
Yeah, but we believed you. You're a trustworthy source on tunnels.
That's...
And Belgian... Is that what they speak? It's Belgian. Is it Belgian?
Flemish? Belgian?
Fuck, I've got no idea.
I know there's
Belgies.
flames around.
Belgies.
Belgies. Yeah,
singular is Belgoose.
Yeah, can you say it one more time?
Do it. No, this is a trap.
Do it for the tunnels.
It's not.
I think I nailed it the first time.
You fucking did.
Tjidjeljelki Hendels Veringing Kombinate Oosterwielden Tunnel.
Nah, the first time was more confident.
Yeah, but just... Can you do it?
Well, probably fucking not.
Yeah, I
Let's give it a
couldn't.
go.
I couldn't
Where are
get
we?
that.
Tilde.
Yeah, no, we're good. We're good on that.
Give it the Komodo accent on this.
Oh,
Nah,
yeah.
There's no way I'm getting...
Tunnel.
Yeah. Tjidjeljelki. Yeah. I obviously
Beautiful.
leant into that as hard as I could. Yeah. Oh, handles Sereri Combinati or Combinatai Oosterwheel Tunnel.
Bro, I swear, anywhere East Coast or Waikato is the only place in the entire world where tunnel has a W at the end of the word. Yeah, bro, nah, in the tunnel. That's all you get. I'm from Ngaruawahia. I'm allowed to appropriate. That's how I spoke until I was like 8 years old.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, miss, all good, eh?
Of course.
Thanks, miss.
That's what we were saying the other day about doctors. Like, if you go to the doctor, do you want the nervous guy who's real onto it, or do you want the confident idiot like me? Yeah, you show up and, your shit's all fucked up, cuz.
Oh, bro, they showed me these scans they took of you, bro.
Yeah, they're like
Fuck,
photos,
you should see
bro.
the inside of you, bro. There's tumours everywhere, eh?
They're photos, bro, but they're like filters are real mean. They can like see shit we can't.
Yeah.
But yeah, not everywhere. You don't want that guy.
Yeah. You know, sometimes when you go and take a dog into the vet and they're like, you're riddled with cancer, that's you, bro. That's you riddled as, eh?
Riddled,
Yeah.
as
Old fella riddled with cancer.
like, look out for Batman, bro.
Yeah, because you're the Riddler, my guy. Back to the tunnels.
We don't. I mean, we could get back to the tunnels.
No, we won't.
How about we
back.
do one more tunneling story and then
Try something.
Maybe try something. Yeah.
Yep.
I discovered that they made a rectangular TBM. That's a tunnel boring machine. They've all been circular.
Circles.
That's kind of what makes sense to build. They've done them with like one central big bit, and then exterior bits on the side to make a more rectangular tunnel. And another way that they did it was you can set a spinning blade in an ellipse, and if they're tracking right, they can make like squares rather than circles. You can have like a spinning drill bit make a square.
Yep.
So they're doing combinations of those things to make tunnels for. One example that I read about was in China, where they need to go under a freeway. It's a pedestrian tunnel, but if you make it, they had to make it super shallow because of the substrate. So they're only like 7 meters down from like a 10-lane highway. So when they build it, there's always like settlement when you dig through any substrate, the top of it caves in, and the steeper your angle, the more that occurs. So they flatten it out to reduce the risk of that, because they have to go shallow. So they use these rectangular tunnel boring machines. It's a new technology, like only in the last maybe 10 years or so they've started using them.
Insane.
Yeah. I thought that was interesting too.
That's
They're
fucking
getting
cool.
like super close to services. Like that one was within 4.5 meters of a storm drain.
Yeah. That's insane, eh? The balls on that. That's maths that I just fathom to. I can't go in there.
It's keen. It's very keen.
It's one of those things where, like, you think about people that are is the correct term, tunnelologists?
No,
Tunnelographers?
it's definitely not.
I think you know it isn't.
Well, then what is it? You're the guy, right? What is it?
I'm not the guy.
You're the guy. You're the tunnel guy. That's
I
like the whole
on the
bit.
guys.
So what is a studier
Not
of tunnels
Arnold
called?
Dix over here.
Arnold Dix.
Jesse McKnight.
It's pretty close. You're only one or two echelons away. But someone who studies tunnels or whatever, like you talk to people when they're kids, they want to be policemen. They want to be doctors.
Speleologist.
Speleologist. Is that to
Yeah.
do with spelunking?
Yeah. So another name for a spelunker is a speleologist. Oh. Speleologist is right, though.
Oh, okay. Right. Well, it's probably closer than tunnelologist. So this is
Hi.
why. Yeah.
It is.
I can agree
Yeah.
with that. But
brought
like,
up
at
before,
what
you
stage
can't
in
do
your
that.
life do you go, you know what?
Tunnels.
Tunnels.
It's probably when some cunt's like, "Ah, man, do you know I pay $100 million in shipping?" And you're like, "I could make a tunnel for $30 million. Can I have the 70 if I make the tunnel 30?" And sits down and maths it out. That'll do it. Money.
Money does lots of stuff like that.
Especially if you're just like smart as shit and looking at the world like, fuck, if I just do one major job, son of a bitch, I'm in to yourself.
You know, people do many things. They have many motivations. Some of them good, defending one's country. Some of them bad.
Not defending one's country.
We've been looking at the North Head. That's tunnel talk, ladies and gentlemen. We've been looking at the North Head tunnels for our bonus episodes. It's fucking fascinating. You can find us on Patreon by the time this occurs. It should be... Oh, God, I hope it's patreon.com/shutupdudenz. I really hope it's that, Elvis.
If it's not,
Hey,
there's going to be another apology episode.
thank you, BB Malloy. Thank you, Ryan. Thanks for being with us, brother. We
Thanks,
might
guys.
Do some more
Yeah.
stuff.
Also, we're probably going to keep going, but in order to hear this bonus shit we do with BB Malloy,
Kia ora.
you might have to jump on Patreon. Later.
Segments prior. I just want to hear the tunneling part. In my heart I have but one desire, an underground tube, the dank and the gloom.